welcome to part 4, function overloading with TypeScript. We continue this series of learning TypeScript with Uncle Fonzo here, and yeah, Jack Harrington's channel. He's got some cool videos. Go check him out. I'm really enjoying his content. So yeah, my objective is to get as far through this week as I possibly can. We got 40 more videos. We're on number 4 out of 44. Let's get into it.
Welcome back to episode 4 of No BS TS. And in this one, we're going to look at my favorite but often overlooked feature of TypeScript, and that's function overloading. Let's get right into it. Okay, picking up where we left off, we're going to create a new file called parseCoordinate.ts.
Aha.
And this is going to be a function that parses coordinates, but we want them to be able to be specified in a number of different ways. So the first thing we need to do is establish what a coordinate is. So I'm going to...
Oh, as you can see, I've already done this. But the last time I recorded this, my audio was completely jacked. So we're doing it again. All right. Yeah, up to this point, I've done only up to the 4. The next one will be completely new, which is the challenge. Yeah. Anyway, let's keep going.
Create an interface for that. It's going to have an X and a Y. And now one way we could do this is we could say, for example, parse a coordinate from an object. Where that object would be a coordinate. And it would return a coordinate. So we just create a new one. Sure, okay. And let's make another one that takes it from X and Y as numbers. So we take a parameter of X and a parameter of Y, and then we return a coordinate. In this case, X and Y.
Okay.
And now this is all well and good, but it doesn't feel like JavaScript. In JavaScript, normally we'd just have a parse coordinate function, which would go and look at the different arguments coming in and just say, oh, okay, well, if I'm getting an object, I'll parse it and make an object out of it. If I get it as numbers, I'll do that. So can we still do that in TypeScript? And the answer is absolutely yes. And the feature that we're looking for is function overloading. So I'm going to go ahead and create just parse coordinate. Copy that. And I'm going to first define the variants that I want. So for example, this one. And I also want this one. And notice I'm not putting any implementation on that. So the next thing I need to do is actually implement it. And so there's another function parse coordinate, that needs to take some arguments that then we're going to cast and coerce and handle the function signatures that come above it. So in this case, we'll just call that arg1, which is going to be of type unknown. And then arg2, which is also going to be of type unknown. But we do know that we want a coordinate out of here. Okay, so before we go on, what is an unknown? Well, unknown is basically any, but where you have to cast it before you use it. So it's kind of like a safe any. All right, let's go and define our output coordinate here. And we'll just start it off with X is 0 and Y is 0. And then we'll return it. Okay, so that kind of works, but I think there's still an issue here. So what is the issue? Well, it says that the overload signature is not compatible with its implementation signature. And what's happening here is that this one is just a single parameter, this one is 2 parameters. And so what we need to do is basically say, well, one of these parameters is optional. And the way that we do that in TypeScript is we use question mark. Now I'm going to get into optional stuff going forward in more detail, but for the moment, let's just let it sit at, if you do question mark, that means that arg2 in this case could be null. All right, so let's get into an implementation here. And the first thing we want to do is take a look at the type of arg1, and we'll decide which mechanism we want to use based on the type of argument 1. So in this case, we're looking for if it's this signature, which means that this is an object. Otherwise, we're going to use the numeric variant. But you might be saying, whoa, 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 hold up. It's not an object, it's a coordinate. But it actually is an object because we're doing this type check at runtime. We're not doing that type check at compile time. And that's the critical piece. Remember in episode 2, when I said the most common misconception about TypeScript was the fact that the types in TypeScript exist from the compile time context into the runtime context, and they do not. So in this case, that type of arg1 is going to be an object. In that case, what we need to do is set the coordinate to basically what's in arg1. But that's not happy about that. So, because it really doesn't understand what arg1 is. arg1 is still defined as unknown. So what we need to do is use a TypeScript keyword called as. So I'm going to say that arg1 is what we define as a coordinate. And that's fine, that's perfect. All right, now let's do the numeric. So that in this case, x is going to be arg1 and y is going to be arg2. X is going to be arg1. But again, it's got a problem with that because, again, it thinks it's unknown. So let's cast that as a number. And then y is arg2 as a number. There we go. Now let's actually try this out. So parse coordinate. And this is really where the cool part begins. See this thing over here, 1 of 2. So it's saying, okay, I've got 2 different signatures that you can choose from in terms of how you want to define your coordinate. One is as an object, and the other is as an x and a y. So let's try the x and y variant first, 10 and 20. And then we'll try the object variant. So let's put in, let's see, x is 52 and y is 35. Now let's run this in our console and see if we get a good result. Okay, looking pretty good. And I think that's got the right feel for the parse coordinate, right? You pass in different types and it's got a much easier feel from the consumer side of parse coordinate. All right, now this.
See, I kind of like I kind of like that at this state because it's nice and clean. Because it's nice and clean, right? And he's about to get into this part here where it's like, what if we want to put the coordinate as a full string like this? Because then it becomes, yeah, do we add the string thing and then it kind of becomes like this. I'm not sure if I like this because that's real clean, but this, like, it's kind of busy, you know? If type equals string, do string, right? Else if type equals object, do the clean thing we had before. arg1 is coordinate. As number. I guess it's okay once you start sitting here and you kind of sit down and you read it. Argument 1 as string. Split for each string, each thing in a string. Constant key value split on this. Yeah, okay. Coordinate key as x, y, parse integer value 10.
And let's get rid of our original implementation here. Don't need that anymore.
That makes sense.
Now, this was actually an interview question that was up on my Discord interviewing channel. And there you can find some really good interviewing questions to help you on both React and TypeScript interviews. In the original question, had a string variant. So we want to be able to handle like this case. So let's go and just write it out first. So let's say we have x as 12 and y as 22, something like that. And we can see it's already telling us, no, you don't have a variant for that. So we need to go up here and define that we want a string variant. And that's going to also return a coordinate. So let's go and grab this. And now we're going to go and type check for a string. So we go here, is really cool. I hit Command Space, and we get to see what the different flavors of type of are. We can see that this is really all we get to choose from. So let's go down here and choose string. That's the one we want. And of course, this is not what we need. So let's go and start figuring this out as a
It's yes. Okay, groovy. All right.
string. So the first thing we need to do is cast arg1 to a string. So let's bring that in there. Arg1 is string. And then when I hit dot, I get a nice handy helper that tells me these are all the string methods. So again, we're going to do split, and we're going to split on that comma first. So now we've got, let's go back to our original example here, x12 and also y22 as an array of 2 items. And we'll call that string and bring it in here. And now we need to split that. So we're going to have a key and a value if we string split that based on that colon, because that would give us x and then 12 and then y and then 22. And now all we need to do is set the coordinate key, and we got to convert that string. So we need to do parse int or parse float, whatever you want. Give it a radix of 10. It's saying, oh boy. So here's a problem. And so the issue here is that we don't know what key is. Key could be anything. And what we really want is we want an index onto coordinate, which would be one of these 2 values. So we need to coerce, again, key to be either x or y. And that satisfies TypeScript. Let's give it a try here. Hey, looking pretty good. So we got x as 12, y as 22, and away we go. Okay, well, there is a quick introduction to function overloading in TypeScript. In the next video, episode 5, we're going to take a look at optionals, optional parameters, optional fields, and all those great things. Of course, in the meantime, feel free to like and share this video with your friends. Optional in so y, and that satisfies TypeScript. Again, index onto coordinate, which would be is boy. Give it a radix of 20, because if we string split that based on that colon, because that would give us x and then 12 and then y and then 22. And now all we need to do is set the coordinate key, and we got to convert that string. So we need to do parse int or parse float, whatever you want. Give it a radix of 10. It's saying, oh boy. So here's a problem. And so the issue here is that we don't know what key is. Key could be anything. And what we really want is we want an index onto coordinate, which would be one of these 2 values. So we need to coerce, again, key to be either x or y. And that satisfies TypeScript. Let's give it a try here. Hey, looking pretty good. So we got x as 12, y as 22, and away we go. Okay, well, there is a quick introduction to function overloading in TypeScript. In the next video, episode 5, we're going to take a look at optionals, optional parameters, optional fields, and all those great things.
My brain is like, okay, wait. Do that again.
Could be anything. And what we really want is we want an index onto coordinate, which would be one of these 2 values. So we need to coerce, again, key to be either x or y. And that satisfies TypeScript. Let's give it a try here. Hey, looking pretty good.
Okay, parse int value 10, because he called, wait, parse int. Okay, wait, parse int. Let me go to parse int. That's a regular thing. That's cool, but what I want is parse. We have parse int. Parse int. Yeah. Parse int. Okay, now this over here. Let's get there. Parse int. All right, talk to me about this. Okay, parse integer value 10. Method parses a value as a string and returns the first integer. Parse integer parses the value as a string and returns the first integer. A radix. Yeah, what is the radix he's talking about? Decimal, right? Base 10, right? Is that what we're talking about here? A radix parameter specifies the number system to use, base 10. Okay, binary octal, base 10. Value at base 10. Base 10. Parse the value under base 10. Parse value under base 10. What does that mean? Parse value. So value is a string. Is that what you're telling me? If radix is omitted, JavaScript assumes radix. Oh, interesting. You have to put that. JavaScript assumes radix 10. So it's base 10 by default because that's kind of what our culture uses right now. If the value begins with OX assumes radix 16. Okay, interesting. Yeah, I would have put because I don't like assumptions in the codes. I like the way he did that. Interesting. So syntax string. So right, because it's receiving a string, and it's telling us that this number is going to be in base 10. That's what this is telling us. Okay, parse integer. Parse string value into number under base 10. Okay. Yeah, there we go. So that's what's going on. Yada, 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 yada. Yep. Parse that as base 10. Parse this as octal 16. Turn that string into 10. Got it. Parses a string and returns the first integer. Okay. All right. So just wanted to get into that because, yeah, there we go. All right. Okay, cool. So yeah, on to number
Right
5.
here. Hey.
Oh yeah. Let's do the thing. So da-da, da-da. And that's not you, that's called parse. Parse chords. Do I need background music for this? I don't parse cards, parse chords. All right, let's run that. Okay, yeah, cool. All right. Yeah.
Hey, looking pretty good. So we got X as 12, Y as 22, and away we go. Okay, well, there is a quick introduction to function overloading in TypeScript. In the next video, episode 5, we're going to take a look at optionals, optional parameters, optional fields, and all those great things. Of course, in the meantime, feel free to like and share this video with your friends. Hit the subscribe button.
All right, same thing. Go send this guy some love. Give him a positive thingamabob there. Subscribe if you like. And we're going to go on to the next one. Let's see. Challenge 1. Yeah. That's going to be next. All right. Till next time.